So as today's topic we say is definitely mentioned. As an artist, I thought it was very important for me to discuss on this topic, especially for all the architects and the interior designers, and of course, all of the construction team, which is an important aspect of art is a very important aspect of every day, and the most important aspect of the interior designing needs. So that's the whole topic. Why art needs to be a part of regular life and interior designing needs. So why is art very important in life? First of all, it's a very important form of expression, and it helps you cope up with a lot of anxiety and depression. So a lot of color is going to help you overall come up, being more cheerful in life. It helps you be more creative. And another important aspect, again, if you go to see point by point, what I've mentioned is it's a very great way of relieving stress, especially the colors. So these are a few things that I would want. Of course, the PPT is also going to be shared on the group, and I think we'll also talk about it on the YouTube. So it's when we have art around us, when we have beautiful colors around us, it overall enhances our everyday living, which I think a lot of us are missing out. So, and what is it? How important it is in the interior designing. It gets character and personality to life, of course. And so anything and everything around us is art, right from the wall colors. We choose light colors to in our rooms to have that soothing look. And of course, then we want it to be a little bit more playful. So we have textures, colors and textures, and we have patterns. So again, a very important aspect of making your home and your life colorful and playful. And little things in the form of different elements are helping show the client's personal liking towards certain things. So that is how, say, maybe a different kind of a painting will show how the person's personality is, and that is very important. So maybe somebody has a very different idea and wants to put it up, show it off to the world, and that's where art falls into place. So another aspect, I have a lot of it written. So I would say every individual person has a very different way of looking at art. It can be right from sculptures to paintings to abstract art to modern art. The most important thing is when there is art in the home, it is all about the person's traits, or as a family, what they want in the house. And that shows when a person walks into a house with beautiful paintings. So that is what is going to show. So how do we have the different types of art? So there are, as I mentioned, paintings, sculptures, artifacts, lights, furniture, all different aspects. Again, wall textured murals in graffiti form also. The upholstery also talks a lot about the person's choices, curtains and accessories, and of course, simplest of the photographs, which talks so much about the individual's life. So as we move forward, what I would like to, say a little bit on how it can be said. Nothing can be expressed better than art. It's a very beautiful essence behind it. It gives a delightful edge every time we stare at the brushes and strokes that are done on the painting. Of course, also shows a lot of our culture, which is very important. And definitely a lot of traditions and culture are there in India. So we definitely need to show it off to people. And of course, there are other great artists like Da Vinci and many other modern artists who create art in a very different way. So how do we move about? So yeah, in this other one, why do we say we need to put up paintings? So the paintings can communicate with a very serene view, and you can have, it communicates a message that, how peaceful or how serene you want that place to look. So very important on what you're placing in your living room. That is one aspect of it. So There's also one very important aspect that some of the interior designers and individuals consider is putting up paintings according to Vastu. Now, some people personally feel that you need to put up things according to Vastu, or some people feel is just about how we have an outlook. So, of course, Vastu also helps in the different kind of vibrations and adds to the energy in the house. So there are some angelic symbolic paintings that can be put up in different forms. So here, if you see, there is this painting of the Om with a vibration. So, of course, when you keep on staring at it, it gives you a focal point, which is very important. And when you look, it keeps on spreading out, again, along with a mandala and a texture. Again, it is enhancing the entire look of the painting. Plus, the colors are playing such an important role, and they are very soothing colors. So when you are looking at it, the center point is very important, and that is going to make a lot of difference to the way how a person is looking and how peaceful the person is going to feel. Lot of people say, and from what I have heard and what I have practiced for over the period of years, the horses, the galloping horses, the running horses give you a lot of, it's got a symbol and it says a lot of growth. Now, what we all sometimes miss out on that we don't follow certain things. And that is the reason I keep on saying, you should put up a painting in the house which has some kind of a movement. So galloping horses don't always say that you will start running around, but it does give you the aspect of movement and growth. So one painting that should be there in the house. Of course, as I mentioned, the serene water and mountains. And so it shows the flow. Very important. It shows the flow of a smooth flow and flow of money. Very necessary to be put up in the living room where the movement is there. So that's again something to do with the living room. Here again, I have paintings of the Buddha. Some people are not very comfortable putting up God paintings or sculptures. But again, if you look at the painting by itself, it's a very calm, soothing painting. It is also giving a lot of enlightenment, and it's a serene painting. So when somebody looks into it, has a very nice spiritual feeling to it. So should be put in your puja room maybe, or it can be put in a dining room or a study. So you have a focus to it. Again, when I move to the other one, the goddess Saraswati as the goddess of knowledge and art. Where do we put it? A place where there is a study place. Because it is goddess Saraswati, something related to education. So you should put it up over there. So it has, it'll create a lot more energy with no distractions. Very important. Reason I am telling you all of this is some of us just don't know where to put which painting, or we cannot guide our client to where these paintings should be put. So I have made a little understanding on that. And of course, art for the bedroom. So some of us would love to have a portrait of ourselves as a couple, or maybe the family. So it represents the bond between the couple or the family, or else you can put a lovely scenery, which is probably something that you would love to keep on looking at any point of time. It should not be disturbing, because more of the disturbance and more loud colors, it creates a lot of disturbance between the couples. So cool and lovely, soothing paintings. So of course, when I mentioned portraits, so these are a few portraits that can be actually put up in your bedrooms, specifically a family picture or something about your as a couple. So somebody had actually asked me for a grandfather and a grandson's painting, and he wanted to put that up in his bedroom because that was the best memory for that person. And that's how this painting has been made. So, of course, when I mentioned spiritual art, again, there is a lot of it that I have, on this page that we see. the Sri Yantra, very necessary to be made and to be put in the place of where you are having your money. So it can be right from your locker to your space where you are keeping any kind of money. It definitely has a lot of energy that needs to be placed. And it has to be put in the northeast direction. So something very important. So again, another painting in this is related to the yantra, something to do with Jainism is what I've put in. So all this that you can see is either you can put it in your place where you are keeping your money or in your in your puja room. So these are different kind of paintings that have been done specifically for clients. Not that I have kept them all for myself. Of course, there is something with textured art. Now, if you see this is actually done on tile. The background is tile, which is textured, very soothing texture. And this is kind of a gold leaf effect, which is done. So a lot of variety can be gotten when you are putting it into the client's home. So not necessary, it has to be an entire wall with these tiles. It can be one place, that one corner that can be enhanced with this, or maybe something that comes from in the center of the room. So here we go with sculptures. Now there are a variety of sculptures that we can work around in placing different kind of sculptures in different kinds of corners of the house, depending on an individual's liking, right from fiber to a casted sculpture, to different kind of figures in wood, to clay, to aluminium, or any kind of metal can be put across all around the house. And sometimes every individual person has a very different way of looking at it. They wouldn't want paintings, but the sculptures would enhance the place, would enhance the corner. It can be moved at any point of time if you don't want something stationary. So that helps. It gives a lot of freedom to the client and the interior designer to place it. So then, of course, we have different kind of artifacts. If you look into this, there are different kind of colored plates. You get different kind of colored plates right from Jaipur to, of course, quite a few other like Persian plates you get, and that can enhance just one corner or entire wall. So again, as I mentioned, there are different kind of artifacts that can be gotten from metal to iron to glass to ceramic. Again, depending on the client's and of course, with what the interior designer is suggesting. Of course, they would have a little vision to it. And here we come. Wow, lights, such an important aspect. Right now, I was just mentioned, it was mentioned to me that, sit in a place which is just a white background, has a lot of light. Why do we need that? So if we don't have the right proper lighting, everything is gone for a toss. So some lights are for enhancing the mood. There are white lights, day lights, yellow lights. So depending on the space that you want to enhance is where you need to choose the right kind of lights. So here in this images, I can see the white lights to the daylight to the yellow lights. Each of them have a very different kind of feel when it is placed and has been given importance according to the space that is there. So right here, it's kind of a platform, and where there is an inside light which has been put. Here, just the wall has been given a beautiful way of putting the light, where there's a spotlight also, and it is also creating a lot of design. And here, with the wooden panels, it's got lights in between. So each of it is creating a beautiful art piece. So with or without paintings, there's art in different forms. So here, this is all with lights. Now there comes walls. Now when we talk about walls, right now with the kind of variety that we are working with in walls is huge. The first effect is traditional Lipan art, which is, of course, highly found in Kutch, and it's done with clay. Again, very soothing. They're done in any of the wall, because it does give the soothing effect. It does cool down the room. Of course, then there are people who wouldn't want a very traditional form of art. They would have a little bit something which is more geometric. Some people would want one of the walls to be just absolutely in a three-dimensional look. So there can be symbolics over here. Of course, the kids' room can be nice and colorful with different kind of color patches. Either it can be painted or it can be a wallpaper. And right here, we also have texture or a wallpaper. With the kind of variety that we have at the moment that we are getting in the market, it's huge. Right from, I would say, beautiful Pichwai wallpaper, which is already in printed, and of course, at a higher cost. But we can also have the similar kind of a look done with paint, depending on the client's requirement and budget, of course. Here we go. And upholstery. Wow, I like that one corner of the house, which is my special corner, and it needs to be nice and bright. I like all my sofas to be in cream, but my chair, my couch has to be red. I'm the head of the house. I want authority. So maybe that is how probably people are looking at how playing with colors. Also with colors, they also work with a lot of texture on the material in the upholstery. So right from animal screen prints to different colored textures in the upholstery by itself. Of course, beautiful flower prints and a lot of nice, lovely, colorful patchwork, which enhances just one couch and so colorful. The rest of it can be very subtle. So that is how it plays around, and it's a beautiful look. Of course, and here comes our curtains, because without curtains, it's very difficult to survive. Why do we say that? So if we just shut down the windows, it's only going to shut down maybe a lot of dust and noise. But when we don't have the curtains, it will not stop the sunlight, or it may not help us with privacy. So we need those curtains. Now we get a lot of curtains in variety of shapes, the way they are draped, right? A lot of prints and a lot of way of how they are draped. So right from scallops to straight curtains, but it's very important to work around each of them. So maybe a lot of us would want it to be very dressy in your living room. And in our bedroom, we need sheer curtains to also the rest of the curtains, which are going to cover the sheer curtains. So when you want some kind of light falling in, we'll definitely just pull in the sheer curtains. And then again, we are going to close the darker ones to avoid the light coming in. So each of it is very important in everyday living. Now, with this everyday living also, we want a lot of variety, and that is where a lot of design and pattern falls into place. And that is where not any part of living goes without art. And last but not the least, we've got sustainable art. Now, not all of us really want to follow this aspect of sustainable art, which can be used in furniture, which is very important. So you can use recycled materials. You should actually propose it to clients and individuals to use recycled material or use eco-friendly stuff, so that we can also educate the coming generation about it and how sustainability helps. So reduce, recycle, and reuse is the need of the hour. And that is what I would always keep on saying and proposing, that we should always have some kind of a sustainable art piece, or ask the client if they are okay with having more of an eco-friendly kind of an interior aspect right from the time the place is getting done. So I definitely know somebody who has a bungalow, who has more of the natural light falling in rather than the expect that at the night, accept that during the night time where you need the lights, during the daytime, the more of the natural light fills the entire house. So that is one aspect of it, that the architect can take care of it, design it in that way. The second one is where we are putting in the sofas, the upholstery made out of jute, fiber, definitely a lot more. There is a lot of it in process that we can actually use. So I definitely can help you with this. So in creating these different kinds of art pieces, when you want to, show it to your clients. So from all that I have done with it, I will come to an end to this presentation. And if anybody has any kind of questions, probably I can help you with it and answer with them.